Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We're Alpha Kappa Sigma Alumni Chapter, and you are now joining our Golden Conversations. My name is Angelique Smith Phillips. Sit back, relax. We have a great person joining us today, Mr. Gordon. We are excited to have you here. Um, let's jump right into the questions. How
Thank
are
you.
you this evening?
I'm doing all right. It's good. I appreciate you inviting me to come and kick it with y'all tonight with the second
Wonderful.
Reels. I tell you.
Okay, Mr. Gordon, go ahead and jump right in. Tell us where you're from.
I am from Houston, Texas. Born and raised Houston, Texas, on Third Ward. I went to Cashmere High School. Yeah, I'm right up in that area there. Musician and everything, marching band, jazz band, gospel, all of that.
Okay, and so where are you at now?
I reside now at Langston University. That's in Langston, Oklahoma. To give you a brief synopsis, Langston is, if you was in Oklahoma City, maybe about 35 minutes north of Oklahoma City. And if you drive another hour, you'll be in Tulsa. Kind of give you like a little area where I'm at.
Okay, okay,
It's, it's not a big school, roughly about 1,600, 1,700 students.
okay. And what do you do at Langston?
I am the director of bands, which means I'm over the marching band, I'm over the concert band, I'm over the wind ensemble, I'm over the percussion ensemble, I'm over a jazz band, I'm over all those bands that's in that area, pep band, all that.
Okay. And just to give our listeners an idea of what we're speaking on today, this is African American Music History Appreciation. And we just want to kind of spotlight some of our African American males and females in the community doing that thing. So we are so excited to have you here. Let's talk a little bit about when you first fell in love with music.
Ooh, wow. Um, my love for music started when I was in Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas. I went to a high school in Houston called Cashmere High School. Cashmere had a awesome jazz band, and they had a hell of a marching band, and the directors. I was inspired by my directors, Conrad Johnson, Sylvester LeBlanc. We call him Stank, and William Portis. All of them are good, all wholesome jazz musicians that played out. They were very known all over the city and all over the world.
Okay. And so how old were you?
You're going back on me now.
We gotta go way back. We gotta go way back.
17, 16, 17. I did band in middle school. I
Okay.
did that in middle school, but it was like, okay, I can kind of get through it. But once I saw the high school perform as a little kid, my eyes like this, oh, I'm gonna do that for real. So
Okay.
jumped into it, jumped right in the band my first year, played trumpet my second, third, fourth year. I played trumpet, but I was drum major. And
Okay.
I played first trumpet in the jazz band. So I really loved it.
Okay. And so tell me a little bit about your musical background. I hear it. I hear it's bubbling on the inside. You keep giving us a little snippet at a time. Just go ahead and throw it in there. Just put it in the pot and give it to us.
Okay. Okay. After I graduated from Cashmere, I was in the band at Cashmere 4 years. I graduated. I went to the Prairie View Indian University. I was a part of that marching band there, part of that jazz band there. Was a part of the Marching Storm. In fact, you're looking at the guy that came up with the name, the Marching Storm. Before it was the Marching Storm, it was called the SOS Band, Sound of Success. So I came in, and the band director was named Professor George Edwards. He allowed me to go and change the name. We voted on the name and changed the name. Went to Cashmere, went to Prairie View. After I left Prairie View, I graduated from Prairie View, and I was the band director at a school that doesn't exist anymore called MB Smiley High School. Smiley High School is on the north side. I was there for 10 years. I left from there from 10 years, went back to my alma mater as assistant director, Prairie View Indian University. I was there for 10 years. I was there for 10 years. Prophet was, God rest, took flight to be with the Lord 2009. Dr. McQueen was after that. And I was still assistant under Dr. Timmy Zachary. He was the head band director. I left from there Went into ministry, like I've been singing already for me about a year, then kind of fell back in it, and let's see, Milby High School, Victory Prep, and ended up they offered me a job at Langston University, and I couldn't refuse it.
So wait, you said music and ministry, and did you say R&B? I couldn't remember. Did I hear R&B? I think a birdie told me something about R&B.
I did a little R&B, did a little R&B. I also was in a movie called Jason's Lyric. If you've seen Jason's Lyric, I was the cat director in the carnival scene. On the gospel end, I was a Universal Records / Divine Line Records. I had my own choir.
Okay.
My choir, Mark Gordon Eternal Life Ministries. This will make 28 years. 28 years. We got nominated for choir of the year, I think maybe about 3 or 4 times. I got nominated for Director of Year, Texas Gospel Music Awards. I've been on Bobby Jones a couple of times.
Okay.
Sitting behind some artists like Kirk Franklin, Yolanda Adams, John P. Key. Did some stuff with them. Was sung with Eric Carrington. Sung with Nikki Ross. Artist named Kim Burrell.
Okay.
Those are good friends of mine. Been known them for we was on the road with a guy named James Fortune.
Okay.
Done a lot of gospel stuff. I kind of backed away from it because the marching band part of me took over again.
So
Yeah,
would you say that the marching band has now kind of consumed a lot of those other spaces, and that's why you're more focused on that?
absolutely. I'm more focused now. I need to get back into the gospel, and it's still a part of my grounding, the gospel singing and the Baptist stuff. But I'm more pushing now more toward the education. Got my bachelor's at Prairie View. Got my first master's in divinity from a Gregorian School in Coptic Biblical Studies. And I got my second master's at Texas Southern University with a master's of arts with an emphasis in music composition. And now I'm a doctorate in education leadership instruction from North Central University.
Okay. So it sounds like education and music are top. So speak to me a little bit about what education means to you and how you instill that in your youth at the college level
Wow.
or young adults. I won't even say youth.
On the education end, it's the drive the yearning for learning. That drive to be to learn more, to soak up as much information as you can, to become absorb, be almost like a sponge to absorb everything that you can musically, mentally, physically. I was also told once by my professor, you have to be a leader in the class and out the class. So as a musician, being a musician, the musician part of it taught me to be a connoisseur, if I should say, of education, because all those practicing those horns and learning how to study and rigorous practices and stuff like that. I took those teachings and took those back to my classes, and it helped me be successful on the education end too. It takes a different type of person to be a musician. And the reason I say that is I told some of my students, one of the things I told my students is a lot of us, all of us can go outside and play football, but all the football players can't come in here and play these instruments.
Right.
We can go play basketball, play soccer. Some of us can do both, but the basketball team and the soccer team can't come in and play those instruments. It takes a different type of person because you use a different part of your brain to be on the field marching, while you're marching, keeping time, dancing, while you're dancing, playing the right notes and playing in tune. It takes a different type of person to use that type of motor skill in your head.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you another question, and this is kind of off script, but as a Black man, African American in this profession, what are some of the tools that you would share with someone else trying to pursue the same career?
I would tell them to stay to the cause. Stay to the cause. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to soak up on this end to be a musician slash educator.
Okay.
It takes a lot to do that, but you can be successful in doing it. You can be very successful in doing it, and use those skills to develop a solid foundation.
Some schools have small bands and some have large bands. Talk to me a little bit about the size of your band and how you get your students.
Wow, good question, good question. So when I first got to Langston University, we had roughly about 45 to 100 students in the band. The president of Langston is Dr. Kent Smith. He's a graduate of Southern University.
Okay.
So he knows stuff about band. And so my assignment was build a band program. So when I came in last year, I gave $2.7 million worth of scholarships away.
Nice.
That type of money. He said he gave me a 250 brand new uniforms, which is roughly about almost 120 some $1,000. He bought me $250,000 worth of brand new horns, and gave me the scholarship money and say, go get the student. Go get the student.
So if a student wanted to look at coming to Langston, how might they find you if they're interested in bands and band scholarships?
They can go to, and I guess you could drop the link in there for me. My email, which is mark.gordon@langston.edu. They can also go to our Instagram site, which is Langston Marching Pride Band. They can look me up right there. You can find me on there. You can go to www.langston.edu and look my name up. And I'll leave my phone number, 832-597-4319. You can reach me in all those different directions. All of the Facebook, Instagram, instant messages, because we got money for students that want to finish their career in education through music.
Awesome. We'll drop the link, so check below. You see my finger pointing down? We'll have it right there for you. One more question, and I'm going to let you go, but something about Greek letters, D9s, music. Who might you be representing this evening?
Yes. Do you want me to kind of go down the list? Oh, God.
Go ahead and give them all to us.
I remember Fall 89. I remember Kappa Kappa Psi, Fraternity Incorporated. I'm a member of Phi Mu Alpha music organization. And I'm also a member of the D9. I'm also an Alpha, A Phi A. One time. Oh, six.
Wonderful. Oh, well, I'm so glad that you stopped by to talk with us this evening. If you had a tagline for the youth today, give me a phrase that pays. What would you tell them?
Do what you got to do so you can do what you have to do.
Wonderful. So you've heard it here on Golden Conversations by Mr. Gordon. Do what you got to do so you can do what you have to do. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Thank you so much.